Hello YouTube, Dogfoot9 here, and welcome to my first impressions of Markaz Monolith. The second map I'm doing my first impressions for from the Aftermath DLC. So today, Markaz Monolith, as I said, I really have been enjoying this map. It's been quite a good map. I've had some up and down moments on it sometimes though, as it plays quite a bit differently to the other ones, especially to Epicenter and Talar Market, as it's got quite a few longer sight lines. On Conquest it incorporates a couple more vehicles, like I think there's a couple of tanks. I'm sure there's tanks on this one, and there's tanks on Azadi Palace, so it's a bit different to Epicenter and Talar Market. I like the variation that DICE have put in with this map, especially with the big mall in the centre, which I'll talk about in a second. But anyway, this map so far, I've got some pretty nice gameplay on it. As you'll see in a minute, I get quite a nice bit of a rush gameplay with the MTAR, and I'm using the UMP45 to test it out because it's been changed slightly. I can't remember how DICE have changed it off the top of my head, but for a bit of it I'm using the UMP. I think a bit of it I'm using the MTAR. I can't fully remember. But anyway, let's get into the map. It's quite ruin-stricken. It's probably now, I won't say it's the most ruin-stricken, but all the maps are quite ruin-stricken, and this one shows it the most, probably with the mall. That's the place where you most notice the ruins. Around the edges, it seems to be a bit better off, like they are just being built, like they're construction sites, so they're probably earthquake-proof or something like that, like this building seems to be. But as you seem to work your way further in, like as the buildings start to get a bit older, they seem to be, or like a bit taller, like the mall or whatever it is, however you say it. We call it a shopping centre over here in Britain. Good old Britain, always have to be different. But anyway, as you seem to like get towards the centre and the buildings get bigger and things, they seem to have more damage done to them, which is quite a cool effect. Like there's all these little crevices as well in the ground, which I seem to see on the majority of maps, and there's quite a few on Epicenter, which can annoy you with the vehicles. But we're here to talk about Markaz Monolith. Now, I really like the way this map's been designed, mainly because it's not really that vertical. There's quite a bit of like gunfire just like around the outskirts of the town, but once you get into the centre of the town, and especially around the mall, there's quite a bit of vertical recoil, I'm not talking about a gun, but vertical like combat, especially with people in the little crevices. You can look down and you'll see two enemies running below you. You've got to jump to the side, and you'll have the height advantage on them. But if they do get past you, they'll probably get a nice run in on MCons or conquest places or conquest bases. So that's quite nice about these little crevices. I've really enjoyed using them to my advantage in this DLC. And another thing I'd like to mention, the main centre point around this map, as I said I was going to talk about earlier, is the mall, and that seems to be quite a nice map. It seems to be like a mixture of a sniper overwatch to like a close quarters battle. So like if you clear it out and you've got some guys like on the ground floor or protecting the bridge, stopping any enemies with like SMGs or assault rifles coming and shooting you from that position, and then the snipers can go to town on any enemies, taking any bases around them, or they can just snipe them off, or if they're running anywhere, which is quite a nice thing. But if your team does decide, well, the team which isn't getting sniped at does decide to storm in there, or the snipers don't have much protection, it's quite a bit of a close quarters battle, because the snipers are interchanged with G18s or 93Rs or whatever they've got, and they're going to have to shoot back at you, and it's really quite close quarters, which is quite cool as well, because it doesn't mean that if you've got a sniper rifle, you'll just be able to own the entire centre of the map. So it gives it a bit of variation as well, which is quite nice, because the majority of conquests, like bases, on the majority of maps, seem to just be close quarter areas where people can camp and wait until you go around a corner to try and defend the MCon and then shoot you with their shotgun. But with this one, well, the majority of these MCons on this map seem to be quite open, and there seems to be not many camping spots, and especially with scavenger mode, you have to get really close to that objective. So if the enemy do pick up an 870 or something like that in scavenger mode, and then they've got to get really close to the objective where there's hardly any cover. but the trade-off to that is it takes quicker, the scavenger mode, but it takes a bit longer in Conquest. But it just seems a nice balance. It seems to be that you've got to be able to hold down the Conquest base to be able to take it and not just sit in a corner with a tugs or with a friend miles away spotting or something like that. So I'm really enjoying that about this map. I know that it's coming out, I think it's tomorrow for Xbox and PC premium players, and I think you guys will probably like it. I think the PC guys will enjoy Conquest on 64-man servers on this on these maps, mainly because they've got such big areas and vehicles and things like that that they can utilise, so there will be some epic battles on PC. So anyway, I digress. I've really enjoyed playing this map so far, and it's really quite a cool map. So anyway guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more videos. So I'll see you later. Bye.